The hell? Okay, give me a second. Okay, it's working. It's working.
Yep, works.
Cool. So, is it just the two of us? Just the two of us.
Con appears to be there on mute.
Ah, okay.
I'm here as well.
Cool. Hang on, I think that's the first time I've heard your voice, Akon. Is it Akon? Ason?
Yeah, Akon.
Cool. All right, well, should we get started?
Maybe wait a couple.
Okay.
For that. Oh, there we go. But if everybody is drinking.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hey, how's it going, y'all?
Good.
I just got done. I'm making some extra cash doing Ubering right now. So I just got done with a Uber and now I'm back home. Yeah. Did I miss anything?
Nope.
Nope.
Mostly shit posting about drinks, actually.
Very nice.
Wait, Lowe, you have the same mic I do?
Yep.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it works well.
All right.
Your stand is shinier though. Maybe you got a newer one.
It's like 3 or 4 years old. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out the difference, but there definitely is one.
Sorry, I had to get my microphone situation sorted out.
So yeah, this is live going to YouTube now. So if there's something you don't want the public to say, probably best just to type it in Discord.
Can you send us a link of that YouTube?
It's in the off-topic channel. Just scroll up a bit.
Can you send us?
It's in the So shall we get started?
Good.
Who wants to have a guess where the US dollar is going this month?
I'll stab in the dark. Up.
It's been a crazy last couple of months. All the levels that I think I've been watching for it to bounce at just completely fell apart.
Oh my goodness. That's my dog just howling. My bad.
What breed is it?
It's a golden retriever. Dog is crazy. I'm pulling up the dollar index on TradingView right now so I could get a better look at it. I'm a guy who stands by the ADX, the average directional index, and the DMI. So when I give my opinions, I'll probably be basing those mostly off of those indicators and then support and resistance levels and technical analysis.
Cool. What time frame do you like to look at?
The daily is my favorite. Yeah.
Yep. I like the daily. I think most of the moves is Hang on. Let's try this.
Yeah, you can get a lot of great swings on the daily and see some overall trends that are happening, which is a great way to not only get relieve yourself of a little anxiety of trading on the 5 minute or the 15 minute, but also potentially make some bigger profits. Well,
cool. Now that you mentioned the daily, I think this measured move is done. Yep. Cool. I'm going to delete this triangle thing, wedge thing, because I think that's done.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it's done too. I think the dollar is definitely going back up.
Yeah. But up to where? That's...
I could probably say confidently 96.36 at least. That's a 66 pip gain. That's right where that candlestick from a week ago or
96.36. So the price went low here?
The very lower point the bearish candlestick, the very long bearish candlestick that's on the few bars back from the current price right now.
This one right here. Probably a couple of seconds before YouTube catches up.
Yeah, that one. I think
cool.
It's gonna hit that. Yeah. Plus or minus 5 pips.
Actually, let's.
Vix has a question for you.
Yep. Cool.
Might just go long on that position.
Let's do this first, and then we'll go to the yen. So that level is the one that you were looking at. I actually like it because it's bounced everywhere, right? Like most times it's touched it, it's bounced and produced a reaction.
Can you show a couple other examples?
Yep. Can you see the chart now?
Yeah. Who had a question?
Yes, the yen. Why has the yen been moving in the opposite direction of the DXY?
You know, I've actually been seeing a lot of divergence in indexes on the foreign exchange market, and then also the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones and the S&P have been diverging a little bit too over the last couple of weeks. So.
Yeah, I don't normally look at divergence. So I'm not sure if it is or isn't divergence. Probably later on when Confluence comes on, he's a divergence master.
All right.
But for me, I think it's just a lot of confusion. What I see is a lot of confusion. It's just people don't know which way to take it. And I think that's actually reflected here in the dollar yen. Because for the last couple of years at least, whenever when there's a brisk off move, dollar yen just drops. Theory is that yen is the safe haven. Order flows go to the yen because, I don't know, maybe Japanese investors are taking profits off the stock markets, and that's why yen rises a little bit as the flows go back. But But whatever it is, this hasn't really been happening so much. And that's a break in the correlation, which I'm watching, and I don't have an answer for, but it's something that I'm watching very closely. So yeah, I don't know why VIX that it's not doing the same as what Dixie's doing, but dollar yen has been on a program of its own. It's breaking all the old correlations that that people have been relying on for the last few years.
Hi, Colin. I'm just getting off the exit at Meridian.
Yeah.
And the ICU attendant calls me back and he's like, the family decided that the patient should go comfort care. So that means they're going to withdraw care from him. And so I'm like, oh, I have to drive back home again.
Oh, geez. I'm in a conference call right now, so I got to close my door. All right.
Tell her she's on the internet now.
No. You'd freak out. Yeah, so I mean, I still think it's very early to make any judgment decisions on where big moves are going to happen. But I think we will really start to see some direction happen in late July, August, and September.
Yeah, we should get the end of that story, whatever that story was.
I wasn't even listening. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Ooh, she might have heard that. Anyways. Oh. Wait, Mary, so what happened to the couple? Oh, she's gone. Sorry, boys. Can't give you guys any closure today, but let you know later.
All right, so dollar yen. I really have no idea what to make of this. It's seems to be on a program of its own.
Yeah, because the dollar shot up to 104 in December of 2016, and then it just went all the way down to 95. Now, it looked like it wanted to break a downward channel, like a flag. It looked like it wanted to break a flag, but it failed that on the weekly for the dollar.
You're talking about this flag here?
It's on the weekly.
Yep.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
dollar yen weekly. A theory I've heard about flags that I kind of follow or take into account is that if the flag breaks the 50% retracement of the flagpole, then it's no longer really a flag.
Okay, yeah.
But their theory is that, because flags are continuation patterns, at most it should get down to the 38% fib level. So if it stopped like here and continued, then that would have been a much more compelling flag pattern. And the guy that I got this off is Blake Morrow, and he seems to know what he's doing. So, but yeah.
How did you do that hotkey to get that fib out so fast?
I have the shortcuts bar here, and I have the fib.
I gotta step up my game. Yeah, this flag. Well, I think the flag actually went all the way back to 2015, what I'm looking at, and was continued on from 2015 to 2016 and broke out October 2016. Yeah, so maybe
October 2016.
yeah. Yeah, zoom out a little bit and then try and get a view from 2014 all the way up to 2016.
So 2014 is here, roughly. 2014 to 2016.
Oh, this is we're looking at USD/JPY. But shit, I was looking at the dollar index.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you want to look at the dollar index really quick?
Yeah. Vix just wanted to look at yen, so that's why we jumped there. This thing. Nah, it's all good.
Yeah. All right.
That's a sideways thing, though.
Yeah, that is kind of sideways. I mean, well, I've always judged flags as going sideways too, or is that incorrect?
Flags aren't sideways. They either have they have a gradient to them. So a flag would be like, say, this bit here would be a flag ish kind of thing. Where was it?
I kind of see it a little bit.
So here, that would be a flag. So there would be a flag pole, which is the impulse drive up. And then there would be a short channel. Down that retraces to less than 38% fib. And the theory is it'll break out, retest the flag, the channel, and then make a move equal to the initial flagpole. And that's the theory of the flag, and it rarely works out that way. This is an abnormally clean flag. Usually it'll go up a bit and then go down and stop everyone out, and then it will just keep going for a little bit more and then dies and do whatever. Yeah. So it's got a bit of a slope to it. It's more of a consolidation and slash retracement after an initial impulse move. So when you're looking at this here, that's just a consolidation range. And actually, during this time, last year even, when I was analyzing this consolidation, I was having a lot of fun, like just drawing a lot of harmonics inside the zone. So a lot of them, from memory, a lot of them work out really, really well here. And yeah, It's
I'd like to see one. Could you draw one out?
yeah, I'm drawing the ones that I remember, but and they're in the Discord channel as well. So if you just scroll up on trades and charts, maybe to like middle of 2016 or October 2016, this whole area was all harmonics. Not that I trade harmonics anymore. I used to, but that's not how I do it anymore. But they do exist.
And those look like Australian spiders that just want to like come out and bite you.
Yeah. Let's make this one red. Yeah, so from memory, it was just one almost perfect harmonic pattern into the next, into the one after that. And if you check these like fibs, it's pretty textbook. And this whole area was like that. It was incredible to see. But that's that's not what I trade. It's just what I thought was really interesting during that time. Yeah, and I don't even trade the Dixie directly. And yeah, looking at the recent price action, this level, you're right, it's really compelling.
Yeah, and the ADX and DMI are telling me that it's coming up. There's definitely there has been a bear market for the last several days, and it's slowing down to the point where it's getting to be oversold. We'll reverse for a little bit.
Okay. Do you have a screenshot?
Yeah.
Put the screenshot on the Discord so we can all have a look.
All right. Getting it here in a sec. Okay, I'm ready. Posting it up. Just a few seconds.
Cool.
Yeah, so with the ADX, what the orange line is telling you that it's a bear. The bears are in control of the market up if it's above the blue line. The blue line signals the bulls, if the orange line is the bears. And then the red line is a trend strength indicator. So the higher of a number the red line is, then the more that that price is in a trend. And it just looks like the orange line, it has just reversed directions from going up to down. And that happened in the middle of May as well. And so you saw a little bit of a retracement, about 75 pips in the middle of May. And so I think the same thing is going to happen right now.
Okay. So your current plan is that it may hit this point, this level here, and it will drop. Is that right?
Yeah, it's going to hit that 96.36 level. Yeah.
Cool. And do you have a target?
Target, what do you mean?
So if you're shorting it at 96.36, where would you ideally like to see the price go?
No, I would actually go long on it right now.
But you'd go long on it until 96.36.
Yeah. And my stop loss would probably be, that's what I would do. My stop loss would probably be somewhere around 95.5, maybe 95.4. So that's a 20 to 30 pip stop loss. So you're looking at 2 times your risk gain.
All right, let's put that on the chart. 95.4. Okay, and take prof. Oh, hang on, let's use this. Cool. So you're looking at that trade right there.
Yeah.
Cool. It's 2.31 R. Let's look at it on a smaller time frame.
It looks pretty good to me. I might lose a little sleep over it, but I don't know.
Hey, if that's if you have confidence in it, if it looks good to you, why not?
I know. Except I trade with Owanda, so I can only trade foreign exchange pairs right now. So that's my prediction with the DXY for the next few days, I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
should we go on to the US dollar JPY or the cable or the fiber or something?
Yeah, I was just thinking a little bit more about this. I like the idea that it's going to hit 96.36.
Yeah.
I will probably prefer to short it there rather than take a long. Although I do think that this down leg is overextended.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Cool. All right. Yeah, let's move on. Next one. Can we do Euro? Let's do Euro.
Okay. What's the other pair?
This is the usual list that I go through.
That sounds good to me. Down.
We can skip any or whatever.
let's do
I'm
it.
pretty chill. I used to like Euro a lot, but it's annoying me lately. Yeah, when you see like big moves like this that last from like 2014 all the way to like 2015, it makes you feel like you know what you're doing, but it's just Euro.
Yeah. Well, the weekly ADX is on a pretty big bull trend right now. I'll take a screenshot, show you.
Sure.
Take a bigger screenshot this time. Okay, here we go. That's my trading view screenshot with the ADX in there.
Let me bring it up. Cool. So do you have an active trade idea that you're looking at for this, or?
No, but my overall consensus is that it's still bullish.
Okay.
I would expect it to probably go. I mean, if you just want to buy and hold, I would go up to $1.16 or $1.16736. If you're looking on the weekly, you can see that it's kind of like channel formation right after that massive drop that happened around April 2014 and finished in 2015. Dropped all the way down to where it's at right now.
Yep.
And so just looking at the candle wicks that are poking above this channel, I would expect it to shoot to one of those levels, one of those three levels. Oh, because I mean, on a fundamental basis, everything looks good for the euro. From what I've been reading, anyways.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, Akon just posted a picture.
That's from MATLAB, so I can't pan around and zoom very easily.
Can I put that on stream, or would you prefer to keep that private?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Cool. Wow. So I'm guessing the black bids aren't good for you?
Black is a flat position. Red is short, green is long. So it's basically chopped around quite a bit. So there was a great trade a while back. You see the short.
Down around here?
The short before then. The black I'm flat, so that's fine.
Okay.
But you see, for several years, it was very much break even or lost.
Yep.
What kind of trends do you look for or use with this system?
It's price action based. So it's a little bit hard to explain. The big gray bars you see are measuring volatility. And so that's why when it swings around so much, it allows for retraces to be quite large. So it's not the best type of instrument, as at least a couple of years ago, a basket of instruments. So right now I have 24 futures that it trades. And so typically when like currencies aren't doing so well, commodities might be doing pretty well.
That makes sense for sure. Yeah.
So what has been doing well lately across the portfolio for you?
So U.S. equities have been doing pretty well. Trend following in general hasn't done too great. What's done great in my portfolio is mean reversion. So I have a mean reversion on U.S. equities system.
Yeah.
And that's been killing it in second half of 2016 to 17. Been doing really well. But like commodity, like it's like a CTA trends following style system isn't been doing very well.
Yep. Yeah, that's awesome. I really like your approach, by the way. Like, this, it's really, really, really cool. Oh, hey, Confluence is online.
I'm here, boys.
Yay!
Sorry about that. I just woke up. I fucked up my alarm. What did I miss?
A little bit about the Dixie, a little bit about the yen. Oh yes, CC has something to say about the euro. Should we call you CC or Ryder? CC, cool.
Okay. How you doing, Confluence?
I'm getting a delay. What should I do?
Mute the video.
Oh yeah, alright.
And use the voice on Discord.
Perfect.
So CC wants me to look at candlesticks on weekly euro.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about with the euro on the weekly. I think it's definitely going to hit one of those 2 or 3 candlesticks above the current price right now. Back from like 2015 and 2014.
All right, he's telling us to cut the shit. It's bullish. Just keep buying it.
Just keep buying. Close your eyes and pray.
Buy the fucking dip. I do like this though. Why is this?
I actually just opened a position in the euro because I think it's just like pulled back about 10 pips. And it's just going to keep on going up. But I'm just YOLOing, so we'll see where it goes. I opened like 0.1 lots, so I'm pretty deep. I only have like a $1,000 account, so chilling.
Hey, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. I don't think I would want to mess around with Forex, like, unless I was a multi-millionaire and just wanted to fuck around with like 2% of my net worth or something like that. I see it more as like you're going to Vegas and you just have a better chance at the roulette table with Forex. You know, when a crash happens, you just put all that shit on the yen, some high leveraged yen pair, and you could make some good money in that sense. Like I was looking at the South African rand and the yen, and I just get really high leverage with that pair. Like I can
Spread on that must be
put it,
brutal.
yeah, and the spread is pretty bad. Yeah, let's check the spread right now, really quick. Let's see what we got on a Sunday afternoon, Monday morning for you upside down folks. Spread is 22 points, 2 pips, not bad. But sometimes it's like 10 pips though. But like I can put in an order for 100,000 units on the ZAR yen, and my margin will only be $300 of margin. I think that's pretty nuts.
Yeah, I don't even look at that. I don't know why. I know a lot of people trade like those exotics like ZAR and
Oh yeah,
Turkish
yeah. I've just
lira.
been looking at it.
Turkish lira.
Yeah, the lira or the. I've just been looking at it because I can get a lot of leverage if it decides to choose a direction. I might.
Yeah, I don't know. Like for me, I've come to the conclusion, or I'm coming to the conclusion that my trades work best when there's a lot of liquidity and a lot of people are trading that instrument. So I suspect it's partly why this year hasn't been that great for me, because a lot of people have sat back and wondered what the hell's going on. So in months where everybody was confident about a direction where something was going, say January, for example, it's been really, really ridiculously good for me. But other than that, when people are hands off, it's like, oh, okay. And I'm just folding that information into how I see things. So maybe your technique and the way you look at the markets works really well for low liquidity situations. But for me, I'm like, oh, okay, if liquidity is the core component of what I need to look for, then I might as well just not look at Mexican peso and ZAR and lira and that. But yeah, if it works for you, do it.
Yeah, for sure. That's kind of, I don't trade the ZAR and the yen, that particular pair. I haven't even started trading it. But if a time came when there was high liquidity, like a stock market crash or a global recession, I've just been keeping an eye on it and see what happens. But yeah, I haven't really played around with volatility. I mean, yeah, volatility a lot, or liquidity that much in foreign exchange particularly. So I'm pretty sure the only last big super liquid event that happened was the presidency of the United States. That was pretty liquid time. The election.
Yeah, not for me. That's that was so horrible.
Dude, Forex is just like an anal raper, man. Like,
yeah.
I don't want to mess around with it that much with like high stakes.
Great time for the peso, though. Lots of liquidity there.
Yeah. Dude, my professor went super long on the peso and he made like 50 grand. I'm like, fuck you.
This is like one of those hindsight situations. So I'm looking at this green level that I've just drawn here a couple of minutes ago. It's on a weekly. So drilling down on the daily, it's like a pretty nice area, nice measurement to put risk against, to measure risk against. And then I look at this on the hourly and it's like an almost perfect bounce. I'm just wondering why the hell wasn't I buying that at the time? Man, yeah.
That was June 28th, though. Actually, that was 4 days ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't that long
did
ago.
how long did it stay down there for, bro?
This is the hourly now. It should bounce perfectly. Oh well, can't catch them all. But that just looked perfect.
Yeah, someone was guessing that it might close that gap that happened.
Maybe.
So for a trade like that, where do you set your stop loss? Because it's kind of, I don't really see an obvious place for it.
That's the big puncture bar, so it'd be on the other side of this. I might put it, I might set it like this if I was trading it. So that would be the entry, that high there.
Just waiting for delay here.
Yep. So the green dotted line would be the entry. Red dotted line would be the risk. Dante might put his stop at the purple line. But yeah, the solid green line would be the level. The dotted green line would be the last high pre-breakout. That arrow points to the breakout bar, the puncture bar. So it's a big wide-bodied bar that breaks through a level and closes beyond a level. And you can put the risk either at the purple line or the red line. Target would depend on maybe the weekly or the higher time frame.
So Dante, he's got more riskier stops than you in general?
He's got much riskier stops than me. Sometimes it goes as low as just like 5 pips. I've seen him do a 3 pip stop loss once.
What?
Jeez.
Like, I mean, I do them, but on the 5-minute chart, not the 1 hour chart.
Yeah, he does it on the 1 hour chart. It's bloody insane.
Well, I guess like if you're doing that, you only have to hit like 1 or 2 good trades a month, and all of a sudden you're crushing it.
Yeah.
You can pick up.
But sometimes he does that even
just.
He does that even just for like a 2-hour trade.
What?
Yeah. I've seen him do that for like 1.5, 2-hour trades, and but usually he's doing less of that these days. He's had a rough first half of the year. And so he hasn't. That's why he hasn't been like swearing his head off for a few months at the start of the year, because he was just having a really bad run.
Yeah, I think that's pretty common this year. Like everyone I've talked to has just said like it's been probably the shittest year ever for them trading.
It's terrible.
So I don't know. Hopefully it picks up this last half of the year, or might have to move into different markets if this keeps up for a couple of years.
I hope so. Yeah, just look at this again. So this is the high before this spike down. So maybe that would be a logical target, making it 2.5 hour.
Yeah, I've heard that trading the markets now is completely different because of all of the HFT trading that's going on and the amount of bots that are trading too. And there's a lot more big spikes happening now than there were before 2008.
Yeah, about
Like
the
it.
big spikes, I am not convinced that it's all bots. And it's one of the main reasons is that if you notice the spikes, like 99% of them are spikes down. And if it's like, a fat finger or some mistake or some wrong computation or something like that, then it wouldn't be so skewed in one direction. So take the recent gold spike, for example. That went down, and if it was a mistake, then there would be like an even probability of it being a spike up and a spike down. But it was just a spike down, and it happened at a place where it was it structurally broke the way gold was trading. So if I remember correctly, there was a spike a couple of weeks ago. I think it was this one. Actually, no, it can't be that one. That's a long time ago. Maybe it's not on this chart.
I think you're hallucinating.
Yeah, maybe. There was a morning where I woke up and everyone was freaking out on Twitter about gold and silver like having a massive move for no reason.
Oh, I actually remember that.
I can't remember where it was on the chart. I didn't draw it out. But it changed the way that the chart looked entirely just from that one event. Here we go. Here's the owlet. That thing. So where was it? 26th. This thing.
Oh, Jesus. Look at that. What day is that on? The
26th?
of May?
Yeah. So the story of gold was that it's been fairly well tested support level, and price just came in one morning and somebody hit the button and broke it. And maybe, I'm just, I just really like conspiracy theories or whatever, but I really don't think that was a mistake. That was somebody just taking advantage of a period in the market where it's really low, thin in liquidity, and they just want to change the way everything looked.
Conspiracy theories.
Yeah, that's me. All the pound flash crashes at the end of last year, that was all to one direction. It's like something just doesn't smell right. Why are they all in one direction?
I mean, I'm surprised gold didn't go up though. Because if people are losing confidence in the market, then they typically go to either the yen or gold. And I wouldn't see a reason why they would sell gold like that. Maybe they're trying to drive down the price for when October comes around in order to get more profit. But I'm honestly seriously confident that there's going to be a big crash going on in the next year, this October or next October for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people are watching for a crash though, so
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
yeah, if everyone's watching it, I'm not sure it's going to happen. Which is why I think there might be a US Civil War in our lifetime.
Oh fuck! Here we go.
Lo, you're the only person in the world who makes me like worried about living in the US.
Sorry, dude. I don't know, man. Like, if I was living in the US and I wasn't white, and I see all these stories of cops like shooting people for no reason, it's like your Second Amendment is written right there. You know, if the government's doing something stupid, you have guns to shoot back. Why aren't people shooting back? Anyway, that just doesn't make sense to me.
We don't think that hard about our rights in America. We just like do it, you know.
Okay.
We don't think that
look,
hard.
I don't want to stir too much shit. I mean, like, you know, I want America to do well. Like, I like America.
Sure you do. Sure.
I really do. When you guys make really good things, they're fucking awesome. But
Barbecue, etc.
barbecue, right? Like,
the lobster
Pornhub is amazing.
Pretty good.
I don't know.
Pretty
like,
sure
music
that's
is amazing.
Canadian.
Movies are amazing.
Sums up the American economy right there. Barbecues and porn.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's freedom I can stand by. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just every time you guys go to war, we have to go to.
Yeah, it's like we're brothers and sisters, you know.
Exactly, it's just sibling rivalry.
I don't see any rivalry.
Oh, here we go. Crunch is saying that Pornhub is Canadian. I'm sorry. I did not know that. Pornhub is Canadian. Wow. Well, there you go. Pornhub is Canadian. Hang on a second. How can... Go on.
No, go ahead. I was going to change topic.
Oh yeah, let's change topic. My thing was going to be completely crazy.
I was going to ask if you guys have like shared charts that you guys are watching for the coming week or anything. Like anything of special interest that anyone's got?
In terms of mean reversion or...
In terms of anything. Just want to see what you guys are watching.
Well, I usually do a scan on Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade's platform, to see if there's any major trends going on my favorite indicator. If there is, then I'll watch it.
I'm now very bullish on the Kiwi. I was ultra bearish last week, and your trade was awesome, but my bias was based on the potential inside week breakout failure.
Yeah.
It ended up being a breakout continuation. So I'm looking at maybe either the highs of 2 weeks ago, which is 72.99, or the high of the body, so the close of 2 weeks ago, which is 72.80, for a potential place to go long.
72, like on the 1 hour chart.
Let me draw it up. So this is what it looks like on the weekly. So the outside week, inside week, breakout, close outside.
I think this thing's gonna drop, man. Yeah. You think it's gonna drop or what?
I don't know. I think everybody wants it to drop, and even I wanted it to drop, and it still doesn't. So if it can't drop when everyone's trying to sell it, then it's got to go up, right?
Well, just if you pull up the ADX on the NZD USD, you can see it's really at the top of its peak. You can actually go to indicators on the trading view.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay. But this is on the hourly, just based on candlesticks. So somewhere from within here, I want to take a shot for up here. So that's what I'm looking at for the Kiwi. Can you share the chart, and I'll bring it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, Lowe. Like compared to what you usually share with us,
Yeah.
that's looking at like pretty choppy in that area where you're looking to buy.
Yeah.
I guess it's not like super duper choppy. It's definitely less clean than your average
It
one that you
is.
post anyway. So I don't know. I think you might be forcing it.
You're right. I like it when people call me out on my bullshit.
That's what I'm here for.
So that's the ADX you're looking at, Tripper?
Yeah. You can see it's like levels at 50, and it's the slope is kind of turning around a little bit. But I mean, I would agree with it's just very choppy right now.
Okay.
If I had to I don't like having opinions on charts because
Yeah.
I like to just live in the moment kind of thing nowadays. Like I don't even draw support and resistance on my charts anymore. But if I had to just make a random opinion, I would say on the weekly it looks like we're at a resistance area.
Yes.
So that would definitely make me not look for longs. Then on the daily,
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
you
a
can
big
see the resistance a little bit better.
That's a huge
Obviously, you
resistance.
never know what's going to happen. But then on the lower time frames, it's just too choppy for me. Especially
Oh my God.
on the hourly and anything lower, it's just kind of ranging and being super choppy at the moment. So I just put it on the watch list for the next week kind of thing, as in a watch and don't trade list.
Oh, I'm opening
rather
up
than
a
watch
position.
closely and try and trade it list.
I'm opening up a position right now.
Get in there, all in one.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any entries that I'm looking at. That idea before was just based on the stats of inside week continuation, but you're right. There's a whole lot of crap above here. It's an ugly chart.
It is. It was looking really nice last week when you had your whole chart spam on it. And I asked you a question, and then you posted all your charts, and I was like, "Holy crap! I should yellow all in short this."
But that didn't work out though, and that was it looked like it was going to work out. Like if it just closed inside that last week's high, that would have been so sweet. I would have added to that so many times.
Yeah, it was looking really nice from a technical standpoint for sure.
But then in the
Choose-
end, like, the week closed and it closed above all of those areas, and it's like, okay, that changes the equation completely.
On the weekly,
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't close above the levels that were around. Actually, it did. Yeah. The levels that were around 2015, May 2015. The SR level continues to show up around where the price is at right now.
Okay.
You're right. It did I mean, last week it did close above those levels, but the bear candle wick is larger than the bull candle wick. So that is signaling to me that the bears are really trying to pull this down, and the bulls just won this last week. So I think it's going to retrace downwards, maybe to 0.725 or 0.727 at least. And then I don't know where it'll go from there, but I think for the short term, it's definitely bearish, in my opinion. So I don't know what but yeah, you guys are putting it on a like a Chuck E. Cheese.
I know a lot of people are still very bearish on this.
I'm gonna go with them. I'm very bearish.
Cool. I'm
Yeah.
next chart.
Yeah, we can go to the next one.
How about the Aussie?
It's pretty much the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's generally how that thing works.
Yeah, as usual, I'm ultra bearish Aussie. Can't see anything good coming out of the Australian economy.
From a standpoint on the weekly, I like a support or a resistance area at like 0.7713, something like that.
0.7713.
I like to draw on bodies.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see that.
So that's the level I'd be watching if I was looking to trade it, which I'm not.
I don't really want to trade it either because I remember trading this pair a couple weeks ago and I got burnt pretty bad.
The only thing I would worry about for the Aussie is that you have this resistance zone which is pretty flat and level, but then you have these like rising supports. And so even if it bounces, right? If it doesn't make a lower low, then there's an epic amount of stops that's built above this area right here. And if that gets tripped, then Aussie's going to go a lot higher. It's just going to cascade into like an avalanche of stops. And that's my worry about it.
Yeah, I like that idea a lot, actually. Sorry, I meant to say, like, I wouldn't be looking to short this resistance. I'd be
Yeah.
looking for a breakout and a close above, and then a retest of the support and resistance area.
Right.
And look to long from
Yeah.
And you can also see there's an ascending triangle forming on the weekly too.
So like that.
Hello. Yeah, from your very first green bar.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's threatening to do that. So all right, next chart.
That's a nifty little triangle tool. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's down here. Triangle pattern.
Fancy tools. Very nice. Lowe is an artist of TradingView.
No, it looks like it'll give somebody seizures. It's random colors. Right, CC's got something. He says that if the Aussie dollar is above 80, it just doesn't seem right. And I completely agree. Like, we are so fucked here in Australia. Like, completely. Like, I go on about, like, America's economy being shit, but Australia is so much more fucked. Like, our auto industry completely shuts up shop in a couple of months. And all the supporting factories and the supply chains, for the entire auto manufacturing industry, they're fucked. They're completely fucked. Like, the government's been trying to give them money to retool and like change those like little part shops into making something else, and they just blew it on Ferraris. Those
Isn't
little
it-
small business owners, they haven't done shit. And my initial estimates was that the auto industry and its supporting small businesses account for around 2% of employment. And, you know, that's an extra 2% of unemployment. Even if it's half that, that's an extra 1% of unemployment coming online from December. And there's no way of replacing those jobs. They're just old farts who build engines and screw doors onto cars that don't have the skills to do anything else anymore. So yeah, 80 Aussie dollar, I really don't see it.
Do they export their cars anywhere?
We did, but it turns out that it's cheaper for, like, say, Toyota to build a factory anywhere else and build the cars there.
Just make some little Asian kids build the cars for them? I can understand.
Yeah. And, you know, not to mention there's the housing bubble. And yeah, like, shit's so crazy with the housing here that Bloomberg did an article, or like one of the newspapers maybe did an article of it was total clickbait. It was, oh, you'll never guess who buys the most Ferraris here in Australia these days. And it turns out that the people who are buying the most Ferraris in Australia are now plumbers and electricians.
Ooh, I've heard that story before.
Plumbers. Like,
I've heard the same thing before, but it was
yeah.
in 2007 when people were telling Americans to get into the real estate industry because, like, literally a plumber was telling a financial analyst that he just bought 3 houses
Yeah.
and he was making profits off of flipping the houses.
Like there's pretty much no skill in it in plumbing, right? Like if you think about it, you're just screwing pipes together. How hard could it be? If my dog had opposable thumbs, I can teach my dog how to screw pipes together, and he could be a plumber. It's yeah, and they're going around buying Ferraris. Fuck that! Like,
So
it's
is the
just
car industry going to what's going to happen? Is it going to go bankrupt or?
no. So there was 3 major car manufacturers in Australia: Toyota, General Motors, and Ford, and they all just decided to turn off their factories. So no more car manufacturing, no more. They used to build cars here. So say the Camaro, that's based on the chassis that was designed and built here in Australia. But you know, Transformers came out. You guys started buying Camaros, and so you started building those cars, and we don't get to build them anymore. Pretty much.
Michael Bay is to blame. Gotcha.
Yeah. Fuck Michael Bay.
America wins again.
Yay.
So is that going to happen in October? I was just reading an article that said this is from 2 years ago.
It's end of the year. Whenever that may be. And then you got to give a bit of buffer for when those workers there run out of money.
Yeah. Well, if it happens in October, I'm pulling out my tinfoil hat and I'm getting ready for a crash.
Yeah, I'm monitoring the coffee prices here. Because, you know, coffee prices have risen fairly steadily over the last few years. It's now like $4.50 a cup of coffee.
Oh, did you guys see that unicorn drink that Starbucks came out with?
Starbucks? No, there's not many Starbucks here.
It's probably because it's like 110 degrees Fahrenheit consistently down there.
Yeah, Starbucks came to Melbourne and tried and spent a lot of money rolling out a full like network of Starbucks shops and everything, and within 3 years they had to pack up and leave because the coffee's too shit for this town.
Yeah. Well, Canada has Dunkin' Donuts. Or no, they have Tim Hortons.
Yeah.
And I feel like I couldn't drink that coffee unless I was stuffing my face with donuts.
Honestly,
So,
it's shit.
yeah. It's not very good coffee at all. That's why I have to have donuts to complement it. So
Cool. Yeah. So anyway, back to the charts for a little bit. This pound, I don't think we've looked at the pound yet. It's a pretty good example of what I was trying to do last week on the Kiwi. So there was a, wide-ranging bar with an inside bar follow. So the inside bar there. And then it broke out, but it failed to close outside of that range. And it just came back and hit the other side of the range. And that's what I was playing for on the Kiwi, and that's why I was so bearish on it. But because the Kiwi didn't close outside the Kiwi didn't close inside the range, that bias is now cancelled.
So is this inside bar thing that Dante's been doing?
Yeah.
is this relatively new, or is this like has he been doing this for a while?
He's been doing it for years.
Oh, okay.
But
I'd never
he
like
looks
heard
at
about
it.
him doing it.
Yeah, he does it. He looks for it on the weekly and the daily, and still uses that as a bias on his hourly entries.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
So,
kind
yeah,
of
I
I'm kind
stole
of
it from him.
skeptical on the direction of the pound, because Theresa May is just being weird.
Yeah, she's looking more and more like Palpatine, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, in my opinion, like she's the only like state leader right now that's done a worse job than Trump. Everything she did has been like a complete failure. Well, hey, Cece called it the mother bar. I like that. I'm going to call it the bar from now. So the mother bar and the inside bar, and it closed above that. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I'm not much use here. Like every time I just look at a chart, I just think, no bias, no bias, nothing to say about that chart, nothing to say about that chart. And the pound's the same. It's just
Yeah.
boring. Nothing's going on for me. Just a
Yeah.
wait and see chart.
Yeah.
That's definitely the smarter way to go. You don't make a lot of profit trading all the time. You make a lot of profit of those big catches.
Well, that's what I do. I just try not to have a bias at all, ever, pretty much. And just if I see a setup that I've defined in my trading rules, then I just take it, and I just have to take it because, like, I've obviously got an edge in that scenario. And any other time I don't, so I stay out and try and get my little monkey mind to make as little decisions as possible.
Yeah. One of the adjustments that I'm making this year is that I have a couple of those triggers, those entries that I just have to take no matter what. On the smaller time frames, so I'm still trading like the 5-minute market opens across the board, and those are fairly brain dead for me. Like, yeah, if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work, and do it every day. I don't even think about it. And these biases come in when for looking at when I'm looking at charts, they come in for me to identify like bigger swings and bigger shots. So whereas before, like say this time last year, I'd be looking for I'd even look to hit singles on the hourly chart on forex pairs. So by singles I mean a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. But now I'm just looking for like bigger swings. Like if it makes sense on a much higher time frame and I can swing it for a bit longer, then I go for it. But if not, then I just sit and wait and just rely on the smaller time frame.
So when you're trading, do you trade like all 3 opens, or just like London and New York?
I'm experimenting with that. Aussie Open for me is fully automatic. So I have code that's running that trades it, that I've only just recently within the last couple of weeks put on. And that's completely hands off, and I don't even look at that.
Oh, nice.
And then European Open, I'm still like at my desk and watching it. And I usually stay up until after New York Opens anyway, so I watch that. But I'm not as active on New York Open because I haven't really quite figured that out as much. But European Open and Aussie Open, I seem to have found a way to take advantage of that.
Nice, that's awesome. How many, like, in a week, just from that strategy, how many trades would you say that you're getting?
One on the Aussie Open. That's just ASX. So by one trade, I mean, okay, for ASX, it's just one entry, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And then on the European Open, I look at two instruments, the DAX and the FTSE, and maximum of 2 entries each, but minimum of 1 entry on the DAX only. So sometimes I don't trade the FTSE.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if if there's opportunities to add to it or to flip the trade, and I'll take that. But there is a default entry on the DAX that I just take every day.
Sweet. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. It's doing better than my swing strategy this year.
Yeah, I think my next project is just trying to find more edges, because I've been getting way less trades than I usually do. It's been extremely boring this year.
Yeah, you used to hit it like 2 or 3 trades a week, right?
Yeah, exactly. And now I'm like 1 a week, maybe 1 every 2 weeks, and that's watching the 5-minute charts. So that's fucked.
Yeah,
Get 3 trades a week on the 8-hour charts.
It must take up so much of your attention.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
And you're doing it from a laptop as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's fucking insane.
Yeah. So yeah, I want to try and, because I'm really good at reversals now. I want to try and find maybe some trend following, or maybe in a ranging market, some kind of an edge.
Yeah. Is there any other charts you guys want to look at?
Did you talk about the euro?
We did euro at the start.
Okay.
We can do euro again really quick, but then maybe just the Ethereum chart. Should we check that out?
Sure. All right. Infamous Ethereum.
Whew.
You want to lead this one, Trooper? I don't trade Ethereum at all.
Yeah, let's see. I haven't looked at it in a while because I'm just scared of it. Oh God. All right, let's see. The weekly still just scares the shit out of me. Like, it peaked, and I don't know what the candle wicks of the weekly Ethereum chart represent really, but there's some pretty big candle wicks on there.
Oh man, I'm actually really excited to hear what your opinion on this is, though. I know this is pretty. I don't know. I'm interested.
Yeah. Who's talking?
Yeah, go at it, guys.
Who was that just spoke?
Me, Emil.
Hey, me, yo, what's up? All right. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna go down to the daily now because I can't really tell what's happening with the weekly, but it definitely on the weekly it still looks like it's going down for the next couple of weeks. So let's get a closer look with daily. Um, I mean, you could draw a channel that's kind of expanding, like a reverse wedge. I don't even know what you call that, but let's see.
Okay, I'll draw it.
Okay.
So like that.
Yeah. I really don't like channels though. Like I hate channels.
Yeah, the way I see it, there's some pretty strong support at 200 to 210, and that's what I'm watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very critical level. I feel like if that gets punched downwards into the hundreds again, I don't think we'll see anywhere near 300 again for months.
I would agree. I would agree for sure. Yeah, if it breaks 200, which it failed to do last week, then we're gonna see it definitely another era of
Normal prices.
normal prices. Yeah, seriously. Whatever the opposite of New Hope is.
Yeah,
Like
one
you
thing.
can, there's obviously going to be a billion, trillion, bazillion stops down there, like just under 200, right? So I wouldn't be surprised to see a probe of those before I rally back up. Like everyone and their mum is going to have a stop below there if they're long on margin.
Yeah,
Will
definitely.
that drop the price lower then?
Yeah, but then people will pick it back up because obviously everyone's really fundamentally bullish on Ethereum, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also some kind of like Coinbase had, I don't know, was it 200,000 new accounts in the past month or something like that? Something ridiculous.
Jeez.
And they still haven't gotten back to.
Yeah, honestly, the whole new traders coming in crypto, I've never seen that as like a bullish signal. Normally, they come after the price starts rising significantly, and then they're the ones who always get stuck with the losses, and they're holding the higher levels until it eventually picks back up again. So, yeah, I'm pretty bearish in general on Ethereum, at least for the next month or so until we see some other kind of indication.
Yeah, me as well. I'm also bearish too. The daily looks like the same thing. I'll show you a picture of the ADX on the daily.
So what would you guys like to see for you to change your opinion and get bullish on this?
I'll show you right now on my favorite indicator. If you want to bring it up on YouTube, I'll show everyone.
Done.
Just waiting for it to show up. All right. So with the ADX, it's showing between the orange line and the blue line. The orange line crossed over the blue line right during the period of that crash from 325 to 205. And it's been hovering over the bullish line. It's been hovering, the bearish line has been hovering over the bullish line for about 2 weeks now, 3 weeks. And as long as I continue to see that dominance of the bears, then I'm going to remain a bear based on that indicator.
What? So that indicator is like the blue line's the bullish bear, the bullish line, the red line's the bearish one.
The orange line is the bearish, and the blue line is the bullish, and the red line is a calculation between the two.
So you're looking for them to cross or something?
Yeah, I'm looking for the blue line to cross the orange line again to be bullish again.
Okay. Interesting. For me, I don't care about the chart. I just bought some. I'm just gonna, if it dips out down to 100 to 200 again, I'll probably buy some more. Just buy the dip. I'm just gonna hold that for as long as possible. Really, we're going to the moon.
Yeah. Personally,
Yeah, I agree.
if I
Sorry,
see
go
if in the next couple of days here we break that level at like 320 or 315 there, and we make a new high, like higher than 315, I'll look to actually buy like the 300 level or anything around there, because that would
honestly,
said to
I
me that
think even if it goes up to 325 or so, I think that's just going to be a bear trap, and then shoot right back down to 250 or 200. I haven't seen any kind of consolidation yet, which means that I'm hesitant on which way it wants to go right now. I mean, this consolidation right now is probably what we're seeing after this crash from 400. It's bouncing between 315 and 250, and then dropping down to 205. But if it reaches 315, 325 again, it has a 50-50 chance of going back down to 250 or lower. But to get a serious bullish signal without consolidation or anything like that, just out of the blue, I would probably buy in around like 345 or 350. I think once it becomes a bull again, then it's gonna rise to 450 or 500 pretty easily.
So you're waiting for confirmation on a bullish break to buy higher?
Yeah.
Okay. And are you like Confluence? Do you think it's going to the moon?
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, boys.
I'm a little bit more skeptical. I think that its actual like fundamental value is 5 to 10% of the current prices, and that like the vast majority of this is speculative into the distant future.
Oh, I would agree for sure. You know, I think it's going to take like 3 or 4 years at least to utilize blockchain technology. But Toyota said that they just bought some companies who do a lot of work in blockchain technology, and they're trying to figure out if they can use that to help with their autonomous driving car stuff. And then fog computing is another big sector of blockchain technology that could be utilized.
Yeah, at the same time, we had this discussion earlier. I remember, I don't know when, but we just said that it's very possible that the currencies that are used in the future aren't going to be the same ones that are used now. So it could be that even if blockchain becomes really successful, Ethereum and Bitcoin won't be the ones being used for it.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I think the reason why I agree with that is because even though decentralized currency sounds really cool, or a blockchain currency sounds really cool, it's hard to follow where the money goes to between exchanges and ICOs and anything like that. And governments really love to track down where the money goes to. So it won't be adopted by the US anytime soon until they know that they can prevent any kind of hacking to occur or
money laundering stuff.
Yeah, money laundering, prostitution, gambling can all be regulated.
Okay, so if we take this hypothesis that Ethereum and Bitcoin will not be the final solution, that the end product we end on, what would you need to see? Like, say at the final product, whatever it may be, will need to come along at some stage. And what would you need to see as a feature in that product for you to say, okay, this has a chance of being the thing that the future would settle on?
Honestly, I think stability.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's this guy on Quora. His name is oh god, what's his name? Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Oh shit, what's his name? Hold on. Okay, but anyways, he is creating a cryptocurrency right now, which is what everyone and their grandma is doing. But he is creating a cryptocurrency for the goal of it to be completely as stable as possible. So, not nearly as volatile as anything that we've seen from cryptocurrencies right now. And I think that stability is something of an edge, and something of a safe haven that no currency in the world has right now. So if we can see something that has a fixed price throughout the world with exchanges going throughout it, and guaranteeing it will be exchanged between two parties, then I think that would be a potential to take effect on a global scale.
Yeah, I don't really have any other thoughts on that. I have to wait to see what happens for the most part.
Yeah, honestly, it's really hard to tell right now because I still think we're in the infant stages of blockchain technology too.
Yeah, my fear on this is that Bitcoin and Ethereum have kind of gained an advantage in brand name recognition, and even old grandmas know about Bitcoin and crypto and associate cryptocurrencies with mainly Bitcoin, but to a lesser extent Ethereum as well. And might it be possible that we end up with this piece of shit? Maybe it would be the case where, because governments and other organizations can't collect taxes on peer-to-peer transactions, they will push everyone towards Ethereum and Bitcoin and use its instability as an excuse to say, hey, crypto doesn't work. Let's go back to another form of currency, one which they can tax.
Well, a big idea back in the earlier days of Bitcoin was they were looking for a killer app, like the big app that would push Bitcoin to the crowds and would get it adopted on like a massive scale.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's the way that's going to go forward, to be honest. Like as you were saying, any kind of application on a global scale with millions and millions of billions of users, it has to deal with governments, and to deal with governments, you need to deal with taxes. And with all these current solutions we have, like that are, as you were saying, purely untaxable and totally decentralized, I don't think we're going to find like a globally accepted solution, because governments in their current state just aren't compatible with a completely manageable solution. You can't reverse transactions. You can't manage it like you need to. So
yeah,
I would agree too, for sure. That's a big problem. The problem that cryptocurrency faces right now is, how can it be transparent enough where governments can do some kind of diagnosis on where the money went, if anything were to occur, and how do you get all your taxes from profits that are made? Yeah, but the technology is very promising as far as what I've heard so far. So I don't know. It's pretty crazy. We're balls deep in it, for sure.
Cool.
But right
Cool.
now,
Yeah, just buy the
I'm
dip.
still bearish on Ethereum. Yeah, I'm good to go. If you guys want to do that.
All right, what's next?
Well, if you want to stay in crypto, we could check out Bitcoin price chart. Just do a quick technical analysis, but we could always move on to something else as well.
Let's do it.
Cool. Might be a bit of a larger time frame of interesting stuff to look at for Bitcoin.
Do you want to share a chart?
I don't have anything to pull up right now that's annotated, at least.
Okay.
First thing I see is the Great Triangle of Doom on the daily time scale. That's basically, like, as I've mentioned, all that crypto is, in my viewpoint. It's just a bunch of fractal triangles that, crunch the range, Bollinger Bands converge, and then it either goes up or down, depending on...
I don't like... Wait, there's another triangle that we can draw too. But it's a right triangle rather than a fractal triangle.
Okay.
Well, I have a theory about right triangles. They always break towards the flat side. The flat side always gets broken.
Yeah.
Almost
so
like every time.
2417.77, you can draw the bottom of the right triangle, and it hits all of the closes for the
Sorry,
last.
I missed the date. Where am I looking at?
Oh, the price, $2,417.77 on a price, and the timeline is from March 2017 all the way up to current time.
So here?
No, March 2017.
2017, March. Here.
Oh yeah, but the triangle, my bad. The triangle starts like June 12th.
So this one. Right, I see it now. Yep. Okay. This one?
No.
Do you have a chart you could pull up, Jibber?
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
Yeah, I try to do some like theory crafting about why the triangles are so prevalent in crypto. Tons of
They're
commodities.
prevalent in foreign exchange too.
Yeah, but not to as extreme an extent from what I've seen. Maybe it is something to do with like the currency nature of it. I don't know. But these don't really trade like currencies, or they don't act like currencies. They're more like assets.
Or like tulips.
Yeah, that's the real
Tulips.
the best
baby.
explanation.
Got to get out my wig and my. All right, here we go.
Cool. Got it. Ah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so if it holds that trend line pretty well, bear trend line, and I think it's going to break down again for sure. Or it might break up. Shit, I don't know.
Man, these charts making me think the crypto bubble's ready to burst. At least for the next
yeah.
couple months here.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm holding all cash right now. But you can see that the SR level hits all the closes since late May.
Yep.
Yeah, right around 2,500 seems like a optimal place for this thing to make its decision.
2,400, you mean?
Yeah, my bad.
Are there any harmonics going on in this thing?
No.
It's like a fucking retarded orchestra.
I feel ridiculous trying to draw triangles and predict the future based on them, but it's hard not to when you look at the charts from what I've seen. I feel like there's got to be like, I don't know, the programmer in me wants to come up with some kind of underlying system to explain this, but then I realize that like there's no real underlying value this is tracking. It's just sort of tracking public interest and speculation and some news events, I guess. But yeah, I don't know.
But this is a reflection of human sentiment, right? So just crowd psychology stuff.
Yeah, would that be like the best way to look at this then?
I don't know. I don't do crypto, but if I were to think about crypto, that's how I would approach it first.
Yeah, that definitely does seem like a very valid idea there. Yeah, personally, yeah, I'm pretty bearish going into the future. But if it does break up, which I'd be very surprised to see, that means this isn't over and we could see new all-time highs in market cap in the future. So yeah, if we break like 2,700 again, I would yeah, I would be surprised if we hit new all-time highs. But I find that
you could actually compare the weekly on Bitcoin USD right now that's happening to the weekly that happened on the pound and the dollar back in 2008. Looks pretty strikingly similar. The weekly on the Bitcoin US dollar is just a lot of really small, a lot of I don't even know what they call them, but the open and the close are very close to each other with very large candles on both sides. And it's been happening for 3 weeks straight. And this is the same thing that happened on the cable back in 2008 before the cable took a nosedive. You can see those last 3 weeks have been, the open and close have been really close to each other. We just got to wait for a couple more weeks.
You're talking about these?
Yeah. 2008. Oh, go to the monthly on 2008. Try that. I literally just saw it like 20 minutes ago. Yeah, the monthly shows it pretty well. You might have to right click and reset chart. There you go. Yeah, you see that?
Okay.
Yeah, that just for me anyways looks very similar to the Bitcoin and the US dollar.
I just sort of think of that as like a range crunch and then reaching a decision point.
Yeah.
And then making a decision.
There were definitely a lot more bear wicks on the cable during that time. And then there's also a pin bar too, kind of.
Yeah, I was just noticing before how like all the moves, all the upswings in Bitcoin seems to be roughly the same size.
I
This
wonder
one
how that would look.
obviously isn't.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I wonder how that would look on a logarithmic time or price scale, rather. That's a common thing people do on Bitcoin. They'll show the logarithmic, and then it looks like a straight line.
So yeah, it's roughly the same size, but you know, obviously it's been much more consolidative recently, but it's an interesting pattern.
Yeah, it is.
It's the Tulip Mania.
I don't know, when I hang out in the comment section of the ETH Trader subreddit, and there's everyone there. I swear to God, everyone zoomed in on the 5-minute time scale on like a 24-hour chart, and they don't know of anything that's gone on before that. Like,
They're goddamn autists, dude.
I love it. It's very entertaining.
5 minutes.
Yeah, they're very zoomed in. That's all I know.
That's nuts.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not trading this. If I see a break of that major trend line, or yeah, I might look to load in shorts, but it's not a high priority for me. I suck at trading. I really do. Even when I'm right, I'll stress out and then pussy out and end up losing money, even though the next day it does what I expected. So yeah, I haven't put the time in to perfect my techniques.
When you do that, are you doing it manually or automatically?
Oh no, I've never actually made it far enough in my automated tooling to actually deploy anything. So
Right.
it would just require a whole lot of work. I don't know if I want to sink time into trading over programming other stuff. So
Yeah. I used to have that problem as well. And my solution was to automate position sizes.
mm.
And that way, and these days I don't even know how much I'm risking per trade at all. I don't see dollar amounts. And I found that it's helped me a lot in not being shaken out, because all I see is on the chart, like if it hits here, then that's the technical pattern that I'm playing, or that's whatever reason that I got in. And I wouldn't be tempted to take profit early because of how much it's up by or how much it's down by. It's just, okay, this is the pattern, this is the edge, and I'm sticking to it, and that's it. So maybe that might help.
Yeah, that's a really, really good idea. Abstracting the whole money aspect of it away probably would do a lot. But yeah, I don't know. It definitely, it is an art. It's not just pattern tracing or anything. I realized this. When I was looking into maybe doing manual trading more, I'd listen to all these podcasts while I was running and stuff. So I've heard a bunch of different perspectives, and yeah, you got to find your style, I guess, for trading, and that requires a whole lot of time. And I don't know have the time to put into it.
I think everybody jumps into this thinking, oh yeah, how hard could it be? And they all realize, oh shit, it's bloody difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's always in it for the, I'll get rich. All I have to do is, make 20 pips a day for the next, year or whatever. All of a sudden, I've got the GDP of like a medium-sized country or some shit. It really doesn't work that way. Instead, it just like eats away all my time. Well, like if someone's coming into this new, I would say give up like everything in your life for about a year, and if you don't have something by then, just straight up give up. Because it's not for 95% of people. Definitely, just like how people's personality fits with trading is a big thing, I'd say.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's definitely not for most people. So like, if people are thinking about giving up, they should definitely give up. It's just not going to happen.
I think you've got to be a little bit fucked up to be able to do this.
Yeah.
I think you just have to be patient. If you're patient and you can watch the charts and be disciplined to not just go on any trade and master your analysis, then you can be pretty profitable. I was looking up the people who were the most profitable in foreign exchange, and like out of the 5 guys that were profitable, they all made over $100 million, but 3 out of those 5 kept on trading and lost all their money again. So
Yeah.
I think a major part of the problem is like Forex attracts the wrong kind of people rather than the people who would succeed in it.
Yeah, the people who are attracted to Forex like to get rich quick. You know, make your 20% gains in a day with super leverage rather than like to make your gains over 2 years. Methodical kind of traders, I guess. That's definitely true.
Yeah.
all right, well, I'm gonna call it a night.
Yeah, let's call it a day. We've been on for a bit.
At night, I'm having breakfast here.
Oh, okay.
Dude.
It is 9 o'clock. Yeah,
Cool.
at night right now. Yeah, I'm all the way in Washington State, on the other side of the world.
Man, Seattle's my dream city.
No, dude, don't fucking live. No.
We'll have to talk about why
traffic
not.
there is worse than LA right now, and they haven't really figured out a solution how to fix that. Like, they want to put in a train system to take people from the city center to the suburbs of Seattle, but the timeline to finish the train system is 35 to 40 years right now. And then they're about to do some major reconstruction on this viaduct that runs along the boardwalk of Seattle, the coast. So there's going to be some huge traffic rearrangements going on in the city over the next probably 2 to 4 years. So traffic's just going to be really fucking bad. But during the summertime, Seattle is amazing. It's really cool. But the downtown life of Seattle is pretty much non-existent. Like, you don't really go to Seattle to party or anything like that. You go to Seattle like visit Amazon or visit Microsoft and check out the skyscrapers or eat some fish. Fish here is really good.
Cool. We'll have to talk to you more about that sometime.
All right.
Insiders.
On that note, I'm killing the stream. Voice will still be open because that's Discord. But yeah, this was fun.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, thanks so much for setting this up. It was great talking to you and hearing your perspectives on stuff.
Yeah, we should
No
do it
worries,
again.
man.